IGCSE Computer Science. This video is the introduction to databases. So in this video we'll cover the first three syllabus statements from databases. In the next video we'll cover the fourth one. And then in the third video we'll do a past paper, or past paper question rather, not an entire past paper. That would take a bit too long. But anyway, databases, right. So what is a database? A database is pretty much a place where data is stored. Now it's not like a variable where one piece of data is stored. It's like database is filled with records, and these are the records like this. A database consists of tables, which consist of records like this. These are records. So yeah, a database can have multiple tables, but in the course you need to know about you just need to define you just need to know about single table databases, but just know that databases can contain multiple tables. So each table consists of records, and each record consists of fields. So what are fields and records? Well, okay, let's say that we wanted a database table to store information about candidates who take a computer science exam. So the table title would be called candidates who are taking the computer science exam, or candidates who have taken the computer science exam, because we want to store people's grades and stuff. And that table would store records, and each record would basically be candidate. So each record would consist of fields, and each field would have a bit of information about that candidate. For example, record 1 could be Scott, like Scott who took the CS exam, and field 1 could be his candidate number, field 2 could be his name, field 3 could be his gender, field 4 could be his date of birth, field 5 could be his grade, field 6 could be his, percentile, something like that. So that's pretty much how it works. So a record consists of fields which contain bits of information, and each record is basically a person. Now a record doesn't have to be a person. It could be like records could be like books in a library, or cars in like a car shop or something like that. So yeah, if you don't understand any of this, once we look at it right now, you'll hopefully understand what I'm talking about. So I'm using LibreOffice to create databases, but if you're using Windows, you could use Microsoft Access. The point is, both applications have something called query by example grids, which we need to know for the course. So once you've created your .odb file, or whatever your database file, we can create a table. So let's create this table, and since we only need to know about single table databases, we'll just create one table. So this table will hold information about candidates who took a CS exam. So first thing we need is the name of the candidate, the candidate number. Let's expand that a bit. The center number, the gender, date of birth. What else do we need? We could have grade and percentile. That's the first thing. So we've created some fields for our database table. So now we need to think about the data types, which is the second syllabus statement. So databases has quite a few. It has all the data types that we've learned so far, plus a few more. I'd say if they ask you a question like what data type should be used for this field, I'd say like stick with the ones that the database, like what Microsoft Access and LibreOffice give you. For example, instead of string, say text. I'd suggest that, just in case. I know it's a bit weird, but you know what to do. So I'd say, yeah, stick with text for string. These three will be strings. Gender, character. You could say character, I guess. Actually, can you? I mean, I guess you could say. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could say something like, for character, say text with a field length of 1 or something like that. Or like fixed text. Yeah, I'd say text, fixed length of 1. For date, you have to use the data type date, which we'll format. We want to format it like this: date, month, year, year. Because that just makes it easier for me, as well as maybe you guys. Again, fixed text, and percentile will be integer. So for integer, I'd say you could stick with integer probably. For real, I'd say go with number. With Boolean, you can stick with Boolean. Boolean's fine. We can save the table as candidates for CS exam. So it says here, no, there's no primary key. We need to select a primary key. Let's do that now. So we'll say candidate number is the primary key. So what is candidates for CS exam? So what is a primary key? Well, a primary key is sort of like it's given to a field in a database table, and it's sort of used for identifying each record easily. Now this is why. We could have name as, I mean, we could have a bunch of names, or a bunch of people with the same name, because we're in this example. In the next video, we're gonna look at actually adding some. And actually, we're gonna add some records in this video, but we can have people with the same name. Now, would that be good to identify each record? Well, not really, because they'll have the same value. Candidate number, however, well, everyone has a unique candidate number. Well, maybe not in real life. Maybe they have center number this, and then candidate number for this, center number this. But for now, we'll just stick with candidate number, each person's candidate number being unique. We'll just stick with that for now. I'm not sure actually how it works. Date of birth as primary key? No, people could be born on the same day. Grade? Definitely not, because people could get the same grade. Center number? No, because people, obviously people go to the same school. So candidate number seems like the best primary key. Maybe not in real life, but in this example, it will be. So a primary key can be used to uniquely identify each record in a table. Simple. Now let's try adding some records to this table. So we'll just add 2 records, and then we'll end there. So let's have Scott. Candidate number, I'll just make something up like 2097. Center number, T, something like that. Gender, male. Date of birth, when was Scott born? Okay, 5th. May 19th, 2000. And this should reformat to this, so 19th of May, 2000. That's what I like. But I have to input, like, the original, but it'll output, like, it's fine. Grade? Well, I want him to get a star, but how am I supposed to represent a star with a single character? Well, simple. We can just do this. That's what my physics teacher does for a star. And we'll give him 100 percentile. Let's add one more. Avi 1098. T. Let's put him in another school. Male, and I don't know. December 3rd, 2000. We'll give him a star as well. 95 percentile. So that's how you add records to our to a database table. And in the next video, I'll finish this with a few more records, and we'll look at query by example grids